This is the altar end of this church that we just saw. From this point on in the video, I'm duplicating the free English tour I took this morning. So this is the layout of the church. Number 2 is the altar. Number 1 is the nave. Number 3 is the narthex. Goes crosswise. And the lateral galleries. Some places are called cloisters, others I think maybe porticos. Several pianos placed around the city to dramatize the music festival that's coming. This is that building across from the courthouse that's got some pretty design elements on it. You can't see a lot of it because of some restoration going on because it's a very pretty building. I think all of this is like early 20th century. Sofia coat of arms. Saint Petka of Saddlers. I think this church, whenever it was built, was the grade level of the community at that time. If you look up those stairs, you can get a hint of where the grade is today, and apparently there is a crypt underneath here, a Roman crypt underneath this church that represents the grade in the time of Rome. Probably that window. Okay, here we're inside this church. Few murals remain. They're very indistinct now. There, the altar area. These seem to be the most well preserved. This is the market. It has Roman remains in the basement. Downstairs does not speak of a Roman crypt, but rather of the original road of Rome that went through here. This is not it. This is a restoration, but went through this area. May be that down through that door is where the crypt is she was referring to. The construction going on here is for the second line of the underground, or the tube, or the metro, if you will. Which will cross the first line at right angle. And one of the problems with it, which is a good problem, happens in European countries a lot, is that construction is altered by the discovery of something new. And this mosque was the early work of the apparently famous architect who designed the Blue Mosque. This building, as indicated, is a market, so we'll go inside and see. It very much does look like the 1900s architecture I've seen elsewhere. There's steel infrastructure, the light coming from the ceilings. Pretty fountain. Here are groceries. Not probably the same as Ladies Market, but a nice market. Looks like something that an Albertsons or Fry's might do to change its image. An upper dining area where that infrastructure really comes alive. This is certainly an upscale market. This looks like a very old reproduction of a very old big clock. The steel work looks too steely to be something of modern design. These are the remains of the Hammam next to this Muslim mosque. 6,000 years ago, this being a center of population. The Jewish synagogue. There are supposed to be Roman ruins in the backyard. He's made a point of saying how there is this synagogue, major Christian church, major mosque, all in this one area. And I asked her if the people were without tolerance, in addition to the appearance the same with those churches. And she said, probably generally speaking. So one, a large circular area under a dome, I believe, is the central prayer space. Number two are the corner niches, also what they're called conchi. Number three, woman's sector. And number four at the top, the altar. And number five, the narthex. Interesting that while the design is certainly different from a Christian church, the terms and elements are generally the same. And there's still another church looking down into the trench that they wanted to put the subway. You can see some kind of ruins down there. Archaeologists. Sewer pipe sitting right up there on that little nodule, which probably means that was a wall, since it's situated over what looks like a wall that's tipped over to the side. And there, more sewer pipe exposed in its actual in situ position. So to my left is this mosque. Across the street is the market. Behind there is the Jewish synagogue. And behind me, after we look at these ruins, is the bathhouse. Right in that direction, right there, through the trees, you may be able to see some construction fence. And what they're doing up there, here is a continuation of Roman ruins here. And I think these are the Roman ruins of a bathhouse. Behind me from this point, then, is the bathhouse. In the background, maybe I'll see that from a different vantage point. This is the name. We're going to do a 360 spin on this intersection. It's all partially half pedestrian. the violin you hear in the back, even though this is Saturday, there seem to be a lot of musicians everywhere just kind of playing, and of course hoping for some kind of contribution. But this adds to this genteel sophistication, in my words, of Sofia. Of an alley going off this pedestrian street. Just curious what it looks like. Yeah, very pretty.